Don't forget, I ain't scared to die.
You okay?
I don't know.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love the Shy, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about the Shy Season 4, Episode 4. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And Episode 4 was very emotional, as I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions video. A lot of different things happen, and it's going to open up some more of these storylines for these characters. It's getting very serious, and as I told you, this Episode 5 is about to get crazy. From what I know, your boy Duda, he got a lot of enemies coming his way. And after Episode 4, we can kind of tell which people are going to be coming and aiming for Duda, along with many others. So we're going to talk about it, man. But like I said, I will be focusing on all the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know. So let's begin, man. Episode 4, your girl, Tiffany, your boy, Emmett. They trying this open marriage thing out, right? But in this open marriage thing, Tiffany's having way more fun than Emmett. I mean, she's having a lot of fun. Emmett does not seem like he's into it at all. It's like he's just going through the motions. He's just doing it because Tiffany set the ground rules. But you can see the look on his face, the body language, that he's not really feeling this. Emmett really seems like he wants to settle down. He doesn't really want to be doing all this anymore. But we know it's not that easy for him and Tiff. Hopefully they can fix this. As I told you guys, I think it's done for. I don't think these two need to be married. Then we get to your girl, Tracy. And Tracy, of course, got her cheeks clapped last night right there in front of Rose, who just wanted to watch. But now Tracy wants to go home. And Rose tells her, look, you're not going anywhere. And at first, when we saw this in the preview trailer, we thought it was going to be some type of problem between Rose and Tracy. Well, from the looks of it, it's a protest going on outside, and this is the reason why Tracy cannot really leave. So she has to stay there and have, of course, breakfast with Rose, and the two are going to have a conversation. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't trust Rose and what's going on with her. I think she's up to something, and eventually her plans will come out to light. Now, Kevin is back at therapy once again. He's trying to fix these issues where Nina is trying to help Kevin fix these issues. She understands that her son is not there all the way mentally. Kevin, of course, he's pissed off. He's saying that his family don't believe in him, that he can, of course, fix his behavior. It's not that big of a deal, but we know Kevin really does need help. The kid has been on one the last few episodes, the whole season. He ain't been there mentally, and having this therapy is going to help with him. I believe he needs a good male role model around him, like in the first 2 seasons. But as of right now, it's not looking that way for him. Now, Jake and Gemma, of course, they get in trouble for what they did in the last episode, where Gemma interviewed Jake and he talked about what happened with the police and stuff like that. It's caused some issues within the school, protests and stuff like that. Of course, Duda has to have a conversation and fix things, right? Because this is what Otis Perry always does. He fixes stuff. And of course, this little incident right here, all it's going to do is make Jake and Gemma more closer, in my opinion. That's all it's doing. You know, them getting into trouble, this is just bringing them closer together, which you guys saw in this episode. That's all it did. And from the looks of it, it ain't looking too good for Kevin. I'm going to put it like that. It's just not looking too good for him, because Gemma, she wants the attention that, you know, Kevin was not trying to give her. And she's getting all that attention from Jake. And along the way, the two are doing different things. And she's loving the excitement of these new things. Then we get to your boy Nuck, if you buck. And he's outside with Trinity. Of course, she needs to go into the store and grab a few things. But we know what's really going on. Trinity is going to the store. Imani is in there. They're trying to set up a game plan for Trinity to get up out of that trap house. And we already know what's going on in that trap house. We saw it in season 3. We saw how graphic it is up in there. This girl is scared, right? Now, Imani gives her a cell phone, tells her, call her whenever she needs help or whatever. She will be there for her. So, you know, hopefully Trinity can make it out there. That's the part of the game plan. But sadly, we know that this little game plan is not going to work, and the results will end in a tragedy for Trinity. But man, Imani did put in that work to try to help this girl, but it just did not happen. Then we get to this new family. Keisha is talking to this Christian family, and they are very religious. I mean, very religious. And at first they seem kind of cool, but then, they start talking a little bit too much about their beliefs and some of the things that they believe in, right? And sometimes you got to let people just talk. They'll tell you everything that you need to hear. And that's all Keisha needed to hear, was for this family to just spill the beans about how they view life, and of course, how they will possibly treat her kid. So Keisha's like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my child in y'all household. Well, they being judged 24/7 by the Bible. She doesn't want that. So she wants someone where she, can feel that her baby will be safe, and also be able to live in an environment where they're not being judged. At least that's what I took out of that scene. Then we get back to Jake, Gemma, and Kevin. Of course, Gemma, Jake, they're all trying to build up this new protest at the school. And they're rallying everybody up. Jake is involved. He's like, okay, we can get things going. But we know that Kevin ain't feeling this. Kevin is not feeling this. And this is another incident where Jake is stepping up and saying, look, I got your back, Gemma. We can do this. It's not that big of a deal for us. We can go on the front lines and get this protest popping. Well, Kevin just got out of trouble. He does not want to get back into trouble, and doing this little protest will get him into more trouble within his household. So he tells Gemma he can't do it right now, and it's going to lead to more severe issues for the students, which, it kind of scares the other students, but Kevin is just speaking his truth. Now, what do you guys think about this? I mean, I understand where Kevin is coming from. At the same time, I understand where Gemma and Jake is coming from, as well. But it is all over the place. Man, I wish they could have figured out a better way to work things out. Then we get to Tiffany and Emmett. And of course, Tiffany, she wants all these ground rules. She does not like who Emmett is messing around with. I guess he ended up clapping one of her old ex-co-workers, Donna, or whatever. You guys saw her at the beginning of the episode, topping Emmett off. And Tiffany does not like this. Well, Emmett is like, man, you got too many rules. I mean, you smashing Dante. I don't like that. I mean, it's just entirely too much going on. So, of course, the two are going to agree to make some new boundaries, because as of right now, this open marriage is not working. As I told you guys many, many, many times, just end it. It's over. I mean, it's all over the place, right? We get back to Imani. And remember, Imani is supposed to be meeting up with Trinity. This was a part of the game plan. But unfortunately, Trinity does not come outside at all. Imani knows something is up. She knows that this game plan did not work. And now she understands that Trinity may be in even more trouble than before, which, not surprising, was the case, right? We get back to Kevin. And Kevin is feeling bad, right? Kevin is like, look, Gemma, we can fix this. I can still help. But Gemma, she's not on it anymore. She's like, I thought you said you couldn't get into any trouble. You know what I'm saying? She ain't having it at all. Pretty much brushes Kevin off, walks off. And then we see Jake, of course. Jake was with Gemma. And Kevin was already peeping it. He was already peeping Gemma and Jake talking to each other. Deep down inside, he knows, like, man, she kind of showing a lot of attention to Jake. You know what I'm saying? This just may be over. And once she does walk off, and then Jake walks up to him, and I guess he was looking for some type of, conversation, some type of answer from Jake. And all Jake did was give him the flyer. And of course, Kevin, once he got that flyer, he felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? He felt some type of way, like, man, they're going to go out there and do this protest without me. I pretty much lost my girl. I lost my girl to my homie. And as of right now, it hasn't all the way came true yet, in the sense of they haven't done anything physical. But Kevin, the body language tells me that he knows it's over. That it's just a matter of time before it's all done. Now, Keisha goes and she meets up with Octavia. And one of Octavia's employees, she gives Keisha, some background about Octavia and the things that she's done in the past. And Octavia, of course, has helped this young lady out and done so much for her without her having to ask. Keisha is learning that, Octavia is a good person, that she really does care for people. She looks out for people, and she will probably be a good mother for Keisha's son. And Keisha is understanding this, and she's starting to believe, like, man, okay, maybe I should, allow my child to be with her. Even though she's not going to be married, maybe this is the right move. And of course, Keisha does have a conversation with Octavia, and she learns exactly how she thinks and the things that she did to get to where she was at. And to be honest with you guys, Octavia is a cool person, man. She worked hard to get everything that she got. And of course, she's always there to uplift people. At least that's what I saw in that scene. Now, everyone's scared. Remember, Kevin made that little speech about getting into trouble. It has scared all the other students, right? But it seems like Jake and Gemma don't care. They're the only two that's going to stand up for this. But when they go outside, they do see Dakota, the little white girl we saw a few episodes back. And it seems like she's down for the call. She doesn't care. So Jake is like, okay, since they scared, let's just do this. I'm going to pull the fire alarm, and we're going to get it cracking up in here. So Jake is willing to do whatever it takes to get his voice up out of there. And of course, Dakota is the lookout, and she's like, look, I'm a ride or die. Dakota loyal up in here. I mean, it is what it is, but this little white girl is loyal in these Chicago streets. But of course, the fire alarm is pulled. Jake and Gemma, they go on another adventure, right? Another adventure. And this time it's going to be a date. Your boy Kevin has to be feeling some type of way. He has to understand that his homeboy, his so-called best friend, has taken his girl. Might as well call him Mr. Steal Your Girl. I mean, I guess Trey's song has really inspired Jake to do what he needs to do. And Gemma, she ain't playing around either. She's all up on Jake, grabbing his hand. You can already tell that this is not going to end well for Kevin. And later on in the episode, you're starting to see a little bit more chemistry between Jake and Gemma. But I did see some small issues that may happen along the way. The two end up going and getting a fish sandwich, something that Gemma has never had in her life. So Jake is going to go and introduce her to that fish. Then we get back to your boy Duda and Tracy. And it's quite obvious that the two are using each other. Duda is using Tracy because she is the community organizer. He wants to use her voice to give him a good name. And of course, we know Tracy is using Duda to get her voice up out of there. At the same time, she's getting her cheeks clapped. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I told you in my quick thoughts, early impressions, this ain't going to end well. Tracy and Duda, this storyline is not going to end well. Something is bound to happen. Now, your boy Kevin, of course, he goes to Papa, his only true friend that's always about positive vibes, always about uplifting. He's telling Kevin he needs to go get his queen. He needs to step up to the plate, do whatever he has to do to get Gemma back. But Kevin is like, man, she's ghosting me. She's not feeling me. And of course, Papa's like, look, come on my little show podcasting that he does, and we can fix this, right? Then we get to Keisha and Octavia. Well, it seems like Keisha is having some stomach pains, some contractions, which we learn will be Braxton's Hicks, right? This is what we know down the line. But at first, the doctor is saying, nah, you have, some high blood pressure. And of course, we know that this baby may be induced. That's what the doctor wants to do. Now we get back to Emmett and Tiff, and of course, she's setting these ground rules, these boundaries once again about what Emmett can and can't do. Emmett is like, look, how about we just not mess with nobody? He doesn't want her messing with Dante. He doesn't want her really messing with anybody. And as Emmett said, you going back once, twice, 3, 4. Damn. You playing a whole lot of house. It seems like your girl Tiffany really does like Dante when we see them together on the camera. She has a connection with him, and Emmett does not like this at all. And of course, as I told you guys, this open marriage thing is a mess. It's a complete mess, and this just needs to end, in my opinion. But your girl Tiff says, you know what? We're going to have boundaries, but basically she can go and have this guy right here. And he's going to continue to clap her cheeks consistently, and she's going to feel real happy. That's what she's feeling thus far in this season when it comes to him. and it really does seem like she wants to be with him. And Emmett probably understands this, right? Man, I know he got to be feeling some type of way about this. Then we get to Imani, and Imani is pissed off. Of course, Trinity did not show up. She knows and understands that, this girl's in trouble, and she wants Trey to do something about this. And they're having this conversation right there in front of Tracy. And Tracy's like, man, I've been trying to get that trap house closed down, and for years, and it hasn't worked. And she's telling Trey, man, like, how are you going to protect the community whereas you ain't even got your household in check? And Trey is feeling the pressure. She's like, man, I got to go out there and do something. Imani told him, you better go do something. You better fix this, or I will fix this, and it's not going to be quietly. So now Trey is feeling that pressure. As I told you guys, if he doesn't do anything, Imani will make sure she goes out there and gets the job done. Now, of course, Keisha is at the hospital, and this doctor believes he knows everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, Octavia was not lying. These doctors act like they know everything, but in reality, a lot of the times, they don't even know what the hell they be talking about. And this is just facts. They don't know what they be talking about a lot of the times, for real. But of course, he's telling her, well, we may have to induce labor and stuff like that. You got a high blood pressure, not looking too good. I mean, it is what it is with these doctors. Of course, Nina is trying to get into contact with Trey. Trey is not answering the phone, which is going to cause more issues for Nina and Trey in their marriage as well. I mean, these relationships is just all over the place in this show. And of course, Jake and Gemma, they're on a little date, eating a little fish sandwich, having a good old time, bonding, blowing kisses and all that stuff, making wishes. I mean, okay, I see what time it is. I mean, the two are having a hell of a conversation and a hell of a connection. And as I told you, they decided to kiss each other. They decided to finally make out. This is Kevin's worst nightmare. How do you guys feel about this? Should Kevin and Jake still be cool after this? I don't know about that. I told you guys, when you're very young like that, things like this could happen. Hopefully, they can push Gemma to the side and squash their little issues that they want to have with each other. Then Trey, he goes and meets up with Nuck, if you buck, and he's having a conversation with Nuck. He tells him, look, you must have forgot who I am. I ain't afraid to die. You know what I'm saying? I need to know where Trinity is at. And Nuck, he pretty much pulls out that phone, gives it to Trey, and Trey gets the bad news. He found out about the whole Trinity and Imani thing. He knows. He's like, you need to tell your girls to step out my business. And your boy Trey is like, what? So now we know that Trinity, has a high chance of being dead. She probably is not going to make it, which we do find out later on in the episode that was the case. Now, Nina, of course, she's kind of weary of Octavia about, giving Keisha medical knowledge. Then Nina understands that Octavia has a lot of history. She has many miscarriages. She understands what these doctors be on. She told Keisha, just drink some water. And drinking some water did fix this. It fixed it. It turns out that Keisha did have Braxton's Hicks, and that was it. That was it. It does happen during pregnancy for some ladies. And in this case, it happened for Keisha. So this doctor right here, this guy right here, didn't know what he was talking about. I mean, come on, dude. You was really about to induce labor. Seems like that knowledge of Octavia was the best knowledge. And this makes Keisha and Octavia's bond become even stronger. Keisha is telling herself, like, man, she just may be the one. She is the one. I feel comfortable with my kid going to her. Time and time again, she's proved me wrong. She's always been there. She has hell of a experience. And she seems like a nice, good, wholesome person. And that's what I'm believing right now. I feel like Octavia is solid. I would rather have the kid be with Octavia than the last couple that Keisha had a conversation with. Now, Emmett goes and sees his mother. And of course, Wade is there. She's like, man, your mom is tired. Emmett's like, what's she tired for? You know what I'm saying? You clapping her cheeks? She's tired of that. I can see why. Of course, Emmett finds out the truth that Jada is not well. Jada is sick. And Emmett at first is like, what's going on? he's still not seeing like your mom is sick, something's going on. But once Jada tells him she has cancer, man, I felt for your boy Emmett. I felt for him right there. Regardless of all the stuff he's been through with, Tiffany and him messing around with all these girls in the past. On this one right here, I felt the pain. I'm like, man, even though we knew this was going to happen, it just felt so real. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel bad for Emmett. I hope he's able to pull through this. We know soon he's going to have a breakdown. We saw that in the very first episode where he's in the bathroom staring at himself. Emmett will have a breakdown, man. And as a strong black male, young black male, I'm hoping that he's going to get through it, which I think he is. He's just going to need a little bit of support from those that are close to him, including his father, Darnell. Now, Kevin, he's hitting up Gemma. He's trying to get in contact with her, but she's with Jake. She's not answering the phone. And of course, Gemma's like, man, Kevin is calling. What should I do? And Jake plays it off like, I don't know. Pretty much calls Gemma goofy, which, like I said, even though these two like each other, this could cause issues between Gemma and Jake down the line. Jake, of course, he's going to be cool with you, but then he will dog you out just like that. And then Gemma, all she does is just walks off, doesn't know what to do. Eventually, we know in this next episode, it's about to go down. Definitely. And we see your girl, Trey and Nina. And Trey pretty much apologizes like, man, when I'm in these sessions or whatever, I can't, have my phone on and all this. And Nina plays it off like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Everything is cool. Don't worry about it. Okay, I feel it. Nah. See, Nina ain't having it. She waited till Trey went to sleep. She kept hearing those texts come through, that phone notifications, and she checked it. And pretty much she got the, the text from Jada talking about thank you for, keeping my secret and stuff like that. Which now is going to make Nina believe that something is going on between Trey and Jada. And eventually she will know the truth as well. And that's going to make her ask questions, in my opinion. Then we get to Emmett and Tiff. And Tiff can tell something is up with Emmett. And it is. His mom has cancer. I mean, this dude is going through it with his marriage. A lot of stress and pressure is on his back. As I told you guys, he's going to need everything it takes to pull him through this. And his father's going to have to be there for him. Tiff ain't going to have... I believe that this will bring them closer. But his father, Darnell, is going to be the one that's going to have to pull his son on his feet and help him out. Now, we get to the end of the episode with Trey. He goes back home. He gives Imani this phone that she gave Trinity. And Imani is like, damn, he found out. You know what I'm saying? So what else do you know? Is she okay? Or you know what I'm saying? She's trying to figure out what is really going on with Trinity. But sadly, Trey has to give her the bad news. And the bad news is they found her body. And it's just messed up, man, because we already know what went down. We know it was the 63rd Street mob. We know what they did when they found this, what Nuck If Your Buck did. That's just my theory. I mean, it's completely messed up. And this hit home for Imani. And this storyline is steers from season 3 when Imani was in that trap house. When she saw them girls, when she was in there and she was trying to, get her hands dirty, but Trey had to stop her. I even made the video about Imani and when she went into that trap house. I want to say I made that about a week and a half ago. Of course, Trey stopped her from pretty much causing chaos in that trap house. They was just looking for Keisha. So this storyline, this particular one about these girls in that trap house is hitting close to home for Imani because I believe she has history with things like that and she wants to help out these girls and she feels probably responsible for what happened to Trinity because she was trying to help her. Nuck If You Buck, he found the phone and now Trinity is not here anymore. Now she's been quiet all along. She told Trey to go fix it quietly if he could. It didn't work. Expect her to go be loudly and do what she needs to do to get the job done. Now, we're going to talk about more of these storylines this week. We know, as I told you earlier in my quick thoughts video, we know that Otis Perry, he is the leader, one of the leaders of the 63rd Street mob. We know the other guy is in the pen. He is in the penitentiary, right? But Otis Perry is the guy that's out here. He's the face of the 63rd Street mob. The trap house has a house full of girls, and they're ran by who? The 63rd Street Mob. Motive. This gives Imani all the motive in the world to say, you know what? If I want to stop this all, why not go for the Scorpion himself, the head honcho himself, Otis Perry? Might as well take him out, and then everybody else will just flock away. I guess we're going to find out in episode 5. That's if they reveal who shot Otis Perry. But I'm going to tell you right now, these motives are building up. The motive for Imani to do this is at a high level. And the motive for other characters as well is up there. We're definitely going to talk about that this week. But thank you guys for all the love, all the support. You let me know. What did you think about episode 4? To me, as I told you guys, solid episode, very emotional episode for a lot of characters. Episode 5, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss this one. You do not want to miss episode 5. This one right here is going to be one you're not going to forget. And I can't wait to talk about it, man. But thank you guys for all the love, all the support. And I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me go on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.